Good morning, folks. So either you have recently bought a new canoe or you have a new canoe and are looking for what kinds of things you can add on to it to improve your fishing experience. So this is my list of top 5 NuCanoe accessories. So first up is the YakAttack Doubleheader paddle holder. And as the name implies, is originally intended to be a paddle holder. However, saw another guy, Chris Hogan, on YouTube who had repurposed his to be a landing net holder. And I will never go back to storing the thing folded in a rod holder behind me. Just too many opportunities for things to go wrong. I found a lot of them. One in particular, I had this, it was a 19-inch and some change bass, and got it to the side of the boat, and then I reached back to grab my landing net, and a jerkbait that I'd tied on had gotten caught up in the webbing of the net. And so then now I got in one arm, I'm holding, you know, this bass at the side of the boat, and then having to look away and reach back here, fiddle around, getting that thing unsnagged. End up having to cut the line off, and that's how I got it loose, and ended up landing the fish, surprisingly. But just too many opportunities for things to go wrong, and I don't like doing it that way anymore. It takes time as well, reaching back. You're either looking back blindly, or you're taking your eye off the fish, and reaching back to grab your net, and then you got to flip it out and hope that that goes right, and then land your fish. Versus now I have this thing from my seated position, reach down, grab the net, and land the fish. And then when I'm done, I flip the actual net itself kind of over the side so that it sits on top of the gunnel against the gear pod. Keeps the net from dragging in the water, getting caught on things, and that setup has worked out great for me. Haven't had any mechanical, functional issues with the landing net like I'd had previously when I stored it folded behind me in a rod holder. And then another benefit of storing your net like this is it's one less thing that you have to get out of the truck, put back in the truck, or wherever you store it from, and put it in the boat. Because when I'm done, bungee strap, put the 2 bungee straps on there, pull the landing net back, and then just tuck that excess net down into that little cubby space right there. And I drive down the road with this thing like that, and have never had any issues with it coming off the boat, going down the road. The second one on this list is the Quick Connect rudder and foot steering system from NuCanoe. Originally, I got this to kind of solve another problem. I've had some difficulty with the motor guide pinpoint GPS system, the course heading, the anchor lock. That'll be a separate video for me to rant about that, but it hasn't functioned as I would like it to. The Quick Connect foot steering rudder system, and this thing has been great. One, it allowed me to get rid of my DIY cutting board PVC skeg that I had on the back, but then also allows me to steer hands-free. So now I can be going down the bank, casting, chucking and wine, covering water, and not having to take my hand off the rod or reel or stop reeling and fiddle with the remote to either slow down or steer in a different direction. And also, even when motoring more of a longer distance, spot to spot, if you're making a mile run up the river, up the lake, it allows you to steer hands-free and still make productive use of your time. Looking at the map, figuring out, which spot you want to hit first, during that 10-15 minutes, however long it takes you to get there. So, I can be making that mile run and sitting here and tying on different lures, tying a new leader. Next is the YakAttack Shortstak. Aside from the obvious, storage space for tackle, what it has allowed me to do is store one of my 100 amp hour 12 volt batteries in the bottom of the black pack itself, because I have a 24 volt setup, and if you run a 24 volt setup, you have to either have the larger 24 volt battery, or 2 12 volt batteries. And so having the Shortstak has allowed me to not have to really downsize on any of the tackle that I bring with me, and I'm able to keep stuff in there. Still have space in the main compartment for some of the tackle, and then also adequate space for the 12 volt battery. Next one is the GearPod that NuCanoe makes for the Unlimited, the U10, and the Flint models. Whether you're using this thing for storage or electronic, wiring, rigging, mounting, I would not have one of these boats without the GearPod. That thing has just proven to be invaluable. For my setup, it has given me a platform to mount all my electronics, to run my wires through, to store my batteries, keep them out of the sun, keep them protected from any water exposure. And then even on the water, if you do have to troubleshoot anything or get in there, the hatch is easily accessible. Bam, and I'm in there, got some of my tools, there's my batteries if I need to do anything with them, check wiring, all easily within reach. And then the last item on this list is about a 1/2 inch thick, extra large black cutting board that I got off Amazon. And what I've done with that is bolted the black pack through the floor of it to the cutting board, and then using T-bolts, I bolt the cutting board to the T-tracks on the NuCanoe, and it stays there. I drive down the road with my black pack attached to the boat, and it doesn't go anywhere. And that has also, one, secures my gear. As long as you have all your latches shut, I mean, if I flip this thing, my crate ain't going nowhere, the latches are shut, the gear ain't going nowhere. Probably lose the rods. Just having it attached to the boat like that is another one of them things that speed up my process in the mornings, especially on like tournament mornings when you're trying to get in the water. I can already have all my gear in the black pack ready to go that I don't have to be doing at the boat ramp. So those are my top 5. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop me a comment. And if you have any different accessories that I haven't mentioned or that I don't know of, that I don't have on here, please drop a comment. I'm always looking for new stuff, different stuff to do to this thing. Rigging this kayak out, trying different stuff on it is just as fun a lot of times as the actual fishing. So if you found this useful, helpful, entertaining, laughable, whatever, hit that like button. Thanks for watching.